All right, so my dear student, let's also look at this question. So this is Nigeria WASSCE, the General Commerce Paper 2025. Question 2. You are given, because we are dealing with linear equations and inequalities. We are looking at all the past questions that students are having challenges and are asking us to help them go through. So this is one of them. Those of you who also give me their questions to help them out, you need to relax. I will try my best and solve each and every one's question. So just relax. We are doing it one after the other. Okay. All right. So this is one of them. So my dear student that brought me this question, I'm hopeful that you are watching the video. So please follow whatever I'm going to take you through. If you don't get anything, you just confront me and I will still explain to you. I will do further explanation. All right, so let's dive into this question. In this question, it says the product of the ages of Edu and Tanko is 9 less than Akofe's age. If Tanko is 4 years older than Edu and Akofe's age is 6 times Tanko's age, then you are to find what Akofe's age. All right, so this is one of the age problems in a linear equation. Let's see how we can look at it. So we are going to take them sentence by sentence and see how we can do this one. Now, I've already told you that when you have word problems like that, you need to take your time, read the questions carefully, get the understanding. And questions like this, you need to write down some expressions. Yes, and then you use those expressions to form what? Equations before you be able to solve them. All right. So in the first place, we are saying that the product of the ages of Edu and Tanko. So here, how many people are we mentioning? We are mentioning Edu, Tanko, and what? Akufa. So in the first place, we don't know their actual ages. So let's use some letters to represent their ages. So I will say I can say let Edu's age be. So I'm using any letter, so let me use X to represent Edu's age. Okay, good. Then for Tanko's age, I don't know, so I'm using Y to represent Tanko's age, and then Akofe's age, I don't know as well, so I will use Z to represent that. Good. So we know that I am using these letters. Okay. Now, in this case, we are saying that the product of the ages of Edu and Tanko is 9 less than Akofe. So the product, when we say product, you know that product means what? Multiplication. So the product of Edu and Tanko. And what is Edu and Tanko's age? I said I'm using these letters. If that's the case, then I can say the product, meaning that Edu's age, which is X, should be multiplied by what? Tanko's age. That's the product. Okay. And we are also saying that as the product of Tango is less than, is 9 less than. So if we say that is, then I will bring my equal to sign. Okay, because we are saying that the product of Edu and Tango is 9, is means equal to 9 less than Akufe's age. When we say 9 less than Akufe's age, what is Akufe's age? We know that Akufa is what? Z. So if the product of Aku and Akufe's age is what? Is 9 less than what? Then I'm going to subtract the 9 from Akufe's what? h, and that will give me the product of Adu and Tanko's h. Okay, good. Now I have this expression, so let me keep that expression down. Now let me follow the next sentence, and we are saying that if Tanko is 4 years older than Adu, if Tanko is 4 years older than Adu, then here we can still say that then Tanko, okay, then Tanko, okay, Tanko, whose age is Y. So this is Tanko's age, and we are saying that his age is what? 4 years older than, he is 4 years older than. So to know Tanko's age, it means that Tanko will be older than Edu's age, and he is 4 years older than Edu. And what is Edu's age? Edu is what? X. Have you gotten that? Good. So if Edu is X, then Tanko, who is what? Y years, is equal to what? Is 4 years older than Edu, and this is Edu's age, which is X plus 4. So this is what? Tanko's age. Now, okay, this is Tanko's age, because we are saying if Tanko is 4 years older, so it means that Tanko is older than Edu by how many years? 4 years. Okay, so it means if you add 4 years to Edu's age, that will give you what? Tanko's age. Okay, then if you further continue, it also says Akufe's age is 6. Akufe's age is 6 times Tanko's age. Akufe's age is, so what is Akufe's age? So we know that Akufa, okay, we know that Akufa, who is Z years, as I use this represent them, is 6 is what? 6 times Tanko's age. And what is Tanko's age? We are saying that Tanko's age is what? X plus 4. That is 4 years older than Edu's age. So if Akofe's age, we are saying that he is also what? 6 times. Then it means that 6 times Tanko's age. Tanko's age is what? X plus 4. That's it. Okay, great. Then we are asked to find Akufe's age. So we are looking for Akufe's age. Now, once we have that, this is what we have. Remember, we have already written this expression here. So in this case, we are saying Tanko's age, which is the Y, is equal to what? X plus 4. And Akufe's age is also what? 6 times Tanko's age. So it means I'm going to substitute Akufe's age and Tanko's age into the expression I got. So wherever I see Y, I'll put Tanko's age, because that's what we are saying. And wherever we see Z, I will put Akufe's age. If that's the case, then I'm going to maintain my X and then substitute this. Then I'll open bracket, which is equal to, then we know that Z is for Akufa, and it is here. So I'll write my 6, open bracket, plus 4, then minus my 9. So this is what we have. We now have a proper equation. Then we can continue and solve. All right, good. So if we have this, I can open the bracket. Okay, if that's the case, then x times x gives me x squared. This times that give me what? 4x, which is equal to 6 times x gives me what? 6x. 6 times 4 gives me 24. Then minus what? 9. So if I have here, then I can group like terms like that. So I have x squared plus 4x minus 6x, and then which is equal to this gives me what? 15. Okay, so if I have this, then I know that I can maintain this one. 4x minus 2, 6x gives me what? Negative 6, 2x, negative 2x. So this is negative 2x. Okay, then I have 15, so I can still bring what? The 15 here and bring equal to sign here. And what type of equation is that? You see that we have x squared minus 2x minus 15. So I know you are thinking of what? Quadratic equation. Yes, so we have quadratic equation. Then we solve it. Okay, which method are you going to use? So we know that we can use factorization method. We can use quadratic formula. We can use what? Completing of squares. We can also use what? Graphical method. But in this case, we are going to use factorization method. Okay, good. If you are going to use factorization method, then how do we go about factorization method? Now we know that every quadratic equation is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So you see that this is a quadratic equation. So before you solve the quadratic equation, you need to know these values here. These are constants. So this a represent the coefficient of the x squared. Okay, this b represent the coefficient of x, and this c represent the constant. Okay, so in this case, let's compare these constants here. So my a in this is what? You realize that you have coefficient of what? Y, a 1. And my b in this case will be what? Negative 2. And my c in this case will be what? Negative 15. Okay, so those of you who have forgotten how to solve quadratic equations using factorization method, I'm taking my time to go through all this process once again. So please, if you have forgotten, then you need to study it. Okay, all right. So once you find the coefficient or the constant values, then for factorization method, what we are saying is that you multiply a and c. So a by c, that means you are going to multiply 1 by negative 15, and that gives you what? Negative 15. Okay, good. Now after the answer you have gotten, you have negative 15. So after getting the negative 15, then you are going to find the factors of the negative 15. Factors of the negative 15. So the factors of the negative 15 should be both positive and negative factors. Okay, good. We are going to do that. Okay, I'm teaching you all these things I'm writing here. In exams, you can ignore them, you can work them somewhere and get your answers, but for teaching purpose, I need to take my time and go through all this, because some students have a lot of challenges when it comes to using factorization method to solve quadratic equations. That's why I'm taking my time to go through all this process. Okay, once you get the understanding, then whenever a question is given to you, you don't even need to write all this here. Okay, so both negative and positive factors of 15. Okay, so I'm going to write what's the first factor. I know that I'm getting first one will be 1, so plus 1. The plus or minus means I've already said I'm going to write both negative and positive factors. Okay, then after 1, what again is a factor of what? 15. We can talk about what? 3. What again? We can also talk about 5. What again? And then we can talk about the 15 itself. Good. So once you are able to find those factors, from here you are going to pick two numbers. From here, you are going to pick two factors from here, and those two factors, when you multiply them, you must get the answer you got here. When you add them, you must get these two. Okay, so in this case, it means that you need to find the product. So product, which is negative 15, and then you find the sum, which is also the negative 2. Okay, so it means that those two factors you are going to pick here, when you multiply, you find the product, it must be what? Negative 15. And when you find the sum, it must be negative 2, which is the same as this. Okay, so what two numbers or factors can you think of from here, from these factors? Okay, what two factors that if I multiply, I must get negative 15. If I add, I must get negative 12. If that's the case, then we can pick one from here. So we can pick negative 5 and pick what? Positive 3. That is why I told you that the factors we are finding both positive and negative, because there are times that all negative can work, all positive can work, or either negative or positive, like this case. You see that in this case we have one negative, one positive, but the negative and the positive you are choosing in such a way that it will satisfy these two conditions. If the two numbers you pick satisfy only one condition but doesn't satisfy one of them, then you can't use it. So you realize that when you multiply this by that, you are getting negative 15. When you add this to this, you are getting what? Negative 2. So once you get this, then you are going to replace, you are going to find the sum. Okay, so this one, this is what is going to be. You are going to replace this by the negative 2x, because it is the same thing. When you add, you are going to get the same. So I'm going to copy all this again. All right, so I'll write my x squared. Then instead of negative 2, I'm going to replace these two here. So it's going to be what? Negative 5. Then because if you add, you get x, so I will add the x and plus what? The 3. And I will also add x before I bring my negative 15, which is equal to 0. Okay, great. So once you have this, you can put this 2 into one bracket plus and put 3x minus 5 minus 15 rather, sorry. Good. So what do? We need to factor x out. So here we factor x out, and then we keep x here minus 5. At the end of the day, if you multiply it back, you still get what is in the bracket. That's by the factorization method we are talking about. Okay, plus then here to what are we factoring out? We factor 3 out. The moment you get this in one bracket, make sure the second one must be the same. So what will I factor so that what I will get here will be the same as this? I'll factor 3, so that here will be x and here will be negative what? 5. So you realize that this and that are the same. Then you put those outside in the bracket into one bracket. So x plus 3. Then since this and that are the same, you pick one of them and equate to 0. Okay, then from here you can just solve them. Okay, so x, you pick this one, equate to 0, or you pick x minus 5 equate to 0. So this, you are getting what? X is equal to negative 3, or x is equal to positive 5. Good. So we have gotten x values. Now this x stands for whose age? Know that this x here stands for what? Edu's. It stands for Edu's age. But you can see that we have gotten one negative, one positive. Since in age matters, we don't deal with negative. Okay, we don't deal with negative. Then we are not accepting this one. So we take the positive one as Edu's age. Okay, we take the positive one as Edu's age, and that is the x. Good. But that's not what the question asks us. The question said we should what? Find Akufe's age. And what is Akufe's age? Akufe's age is what? Z. But in this case, what is Z? My Z is what? 6 open bracket x plus what? 4. So it means that Akufe's age is what? 6 x plus 4. And what is my x? My x, which is for Edu, which is 5. I'm only going to substitute and get Akufe's age. So here I will just write 6, and then we have 5 plus 4. Okay, so this, in this case, 6 times 9, and this gives us what? 54. So therefore we can say that Akufe's age is 54 years. So Akufe's age is what? 54. So my dear students, those of you who were having challenges in solving this question, this is how you can go about it. Okay, this is the just ended Nigerian WASSCE 2025 General Core Maths paper question 2. So if you still have questions that you want us to help you, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's WASSCE TV. Like the videos, you can also share. All right, okay, so this is WASSCE TV, as I said, and I'm your facilitator, Evans. Okay, so we solve more questions in our next videos. Stay calm and wait for the next videos. See you next time. Bye bye.